Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of H1Z1. Now, today, before I go any further, I had a comment on one of my videos. What do you feel? It basically read, "Hey Ziggy, what do you think of hoarders? You know, people that hoard vehicles." Well, I think I've mentioned it once or twice in the past. I don't agree with it. Never have done, never will do. I've had vehicles in my base, but I've handed them out if people need them, right? But I have just, I'm here at Cranberry, in the middle of the lake, just to show you something, I might add. Well, basically, there's this group of people on here. Most of them are girls, I think. Now, the other day, I teamed up with this other chap. We call him Fort on the game, and he was just starting out, and I gave him my base, and I said, look, if you want a vehicle to use, feel free to use the one that's in my base, which he did. Fair enough. But then a couple of days after, he met up with this girl over here at Cranberry, and she said, look, you know, for 100 scrap and 100 metal sheets, I'll give you a police car. Well, why would he have to pay for it? It's wrong. Basically, he should have, she should have just given it to him. She got the car for nothing. Why should she be charging him for doing something that she's able to do? Use a vehicle freely. You know what I mean? The vehicles are there for everybody, not just her. Her name's Alex, I think. So anyway, I'm just going to pull up a little bit more here. And the base I'm talking about is just over there, right in the corner of the lake. So I'm going to jump out here, and I'm going to jump up on my roof and see if we can see exactly how many vehicles I can see. Look at that. What's that if it's not hoarding? So far I can see 2 police cars, 2 trucks. I'm not sure on how many quads are there. There could be some more further down. Oh, there's another quad there, look. I call them quads, they're actually ATVs. Same sort of thing. But look, that is ridiculous. Yeah, I've got this Jeep. I've also got a quad. But in my group at the moment, there's myself and Flynn. Now, if I'm on and I'm out using the Jeep, he can go out then and use the quad. Or if another player was to chirp up and say, does anybody have a spare vehicle? I would say, well, yes, which I have done, because Fort, he came on, like I said a while back, he didn't have a vehicle, he didn't have a base, and I gave him one of each, a base and, yes, a vehicle. That's the kind of chap I am. But I wasn't using the vehicle, so, you know, I let him have it. But look at this. This is ridiculous. Now you can see why people are, turning their back on the game, because of arseholes like this that think it's right to hoard vehicles. What can you say? So anyway, her name was Alex, or Ollie, I call her. You know, she's been okay with me, but I didn't realise she was hoarding vehicles to this, this much. Anyway, so there you go. She's been named and she's been shamed. Even if she's got a big team of players, 6, 7, 8 players, they don't need 8 players, 2 vehicles, more than enough, to go out on a loot run. You know what I mean? You don't need all these. They don't all need their own individual bloody vehicle. So there you go. Like I said, named and shamed. I'm hoping that sooner rather than later that they come up with some sort of idea to address this problem. Maybe, when you spawn in, you find a key that key, it doesn't open a locker in the hospital, but it's used to start a particular vehicle. That key has got a code on it, and that code only starts and is able to run that particular vehicle, whether it be a Jeep, police car, truck, or an ATV. It would be down to you then to go around the map and look for that vehicle. Yeah. But once that key has been sort of like placed in a vehicle, perhaps no more keys spawn until that vehicle has either been destroyed or what have you. Yeah, that might be some sort of an idea, or add more components. You know, you've got the battery, you've got the plugs that you need to get you started. But let's have a look at, you know, like Miscreated. That's another game similar to this, whereas you need a drive belt, and you need battery, you need fuel, you need spark plugs, you need wheels, things like that. You know what I mean? They could add more stuff needed for vehicles to get them up and running. You know what I mean? That give other players the opportunity then to have the same sort of fun as these people can. You know? Because let's say, look at them, they're all just sat there doing nothing, when other players could be playing on the game at this particular time, having fun. Yes. So anyway, there you are. Consider yourself named and shamed, Alex. Right. Now the other problem I've been having, probably not just myself, is FPS, frames per second. Now I've drove around the whole map. Now I've been on the Astaroth server. Now that is a high populated. Well, over the weekend it was medium. But you can imagine the FPS we were getting on that, with the order bases and what have you that have been popping up. It was very, very poor. But even on this server, on the No Hope server, it's low populated. As you can see, you know, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, that huge monstrosity over there, 5, and there's one over there in the distance, 6. Yeah, and there's these assholes that are building bases still on top of buildings. You can just about see it there. Look, there is a way of doing it. Now I actually know how to do it. I've tried getting up on the roof. I've not actually built up on the roof, because as far as I was concerned, the developers stopped people from being able to do that, so I didn't think you were able to. But there you go, even on this server it's possible. Now is what you do, now the developers need to address this, is you go inside one of the offices, and is what you do then is you go to, I think it was to the last door in the far corner of that building, and you open the door, and is what you need to do then is stand in front of the door, jump and close the door at the same time, but you've got to keep spamming the jump button, I think, to be able to do so. Hopefully, like I said, the developers are going to get that sorted out, because that looks stupid, doesn't it? You remember back in the day where you were able to build bases on, you know, on the roads, in car parks, in, you know, anywhere. You know, I thought they'd stopped it, but there you go. Where there's a way, there's a will. Anyway, right, getting back to the FPS. As you can see, we're sat here in Cranberry now. There's a few zombarinos just starting to appear, and we're only getting around about 16 frames per second. And it's daylight, and we're sat on our arse doing nothing, just talking. You know, there's nothing physical in what we're doing at the moment. But 17, 16, you know, it's ridiculous. Like when the game first came out, you could understand those sort of FPS back then. But as the game is developed, you would have thought that the FPS would have gone up somewhat. You know what I mean? It's been 12 months almost, but it hasn't. So anyway, that's Cranberry. The FPS in Cranberry, around about 16. You know, in a server that's not really well, it's not very busy. It's very low populated. So now I went over to Pleasant Valley, and I was getting about 14 to 16 frames. I went over to Rancho, and I was getting a little bit more, around about 22 to 20, between 22 and 24. So yeah, it's all the built-up areas are no good. Now this is my other base. As you can see, I've got 4 or 5 different bases scattered about the map. I'll just drive you around the outside. I may have already shown you this, but there you go. That's the way she stands at the moment. Could actually add more if I wanted to, but I don't think I'm going to bother this side of the next wipe. You know what I mean? Before I forget, the servers are going down sometime later on today, just for maintenance. I think stability issues. The Molotov on Battle Royale crashes the game, so they're going to address that. I think they're taking the Molotovs out for now. Whether that means they're taking them out of all the servers, I don't know. We shall see. But as I don't really use them, I don't care. So there you go. Right, now I'm heading out this way because I was actually walking around the edge of the map the day before yesterday, and I found an area where I could set up a base. There's not many zombies. They do appear, every now and then, but I was getting better frames per second. You know what I mean? I think it's what I might have to do in the future, until they've sorted the problem out, is perhaps while I'm not recording, is to go out and gather scrap metal and materials that I need to make my base, and then start recording when I'm ready to start building, if you like. Oh, there you go. Some people have put bases out here. I didn't know that. Hello, I've got neighbours. But yeah, if you come out here down to, what is it, about I9. I'll show you before it. Let's see if we can get there before it gets dark. I'm going to cut across country. We're still on 30 frames per second, but actually I've got 2 meters. I think the one on the right, my recording software FPS meter, that's just telling me what I'm getting whilst recording. But on the other one, on my Steam, I'm actually getting 44 at the moment, 44 frames per second. You might not be able to see that, but I'm not lying to you, I'm telling you the truth. But the further out you come over here, now yesterday I got 98 frames per second just by being out around this area. Ridiculous. I wasn't recording at the time, but now my base on the Astros server is, I don't know, I just got to work this out. There you go. My base on the Astros server is around about here, because you see that lamppost in the distance there, and that railing. I can see that from the back of my base. Right, now if I jump out of the vehicle, what does that do? Not a lot. 37 frames per second. It's lying to me. 36, 37. That is so strange. Let's go up a little bit further into the wooded area. It might, well no, it shouldn't really matter whether there's trees around or anything. So let's go up here a little bit. It's going to prove me wrong, I know. Yeah, I think most of it is because it's becoming night time. 37, 38 frames per second as I'm going in. Oh, there you go, 40. So as I'm going up into the woods, my frames are gradually going up. But I think I was a little bit further that way, and I was getting 98 frames a second. There, 42 I've got there, even though it's still telling me that I'm only getting 30 on my recording software. So I mean, even 42 is better than a smack in the mouth. But yeah, this is an ongoing issue that I've had. I mean, I want to bring out pretty good videos, or pretty good quality videos. If you think they're a bit shaky or they're not worth watching, can you let me know? Because at the moment, all I'm getting from people, okay, they're liking my videos and things like that. But what I really would like to know is the quality. Is it good enough? Is it watchable? I've done a little bit of streaming, not a great deal, and people have said yeah, it's watchable, it's good, and that's from different parts of the world as well, America as well as the UK. So yeah, I mean, if you could leave me a few extra comments on what you think of the quality of the video, would be much appreciated. So anyway, I think I'm going to leave it here for today. The main reason why I came on was just to show you that people hoard the vehicles, and well, to be honest, I think if they hoard too many, they should be banned, or they should be what's the word I'm looking for? They should be kicked for maybe 2 weeks or something like that, until they learn their lesson. And if they carry on, be kicked again. And if they carry on after that, ban them, because it's not right. I mean, we whinge and we whine about these hackers, that get into our bases and destroy what we've got, any vehicles that we might have, or steal other bits and pieces that we might accidentally leave out on purpose. You know what I mean? But things are being done about them, so things should be done about these people that think it's right to hoard vehicles. Straight after this wipe, straight after the last wipe, is what myself and Flynn done. We went around the map and we took every battery and every plug out of vehicles. That wasn't to be malicious. That was so everybody that spawned in then after had a chance to go around, look for a battery, look for plugs, and put them inside the vehicles. You know what I mean? So they all had the same sort of amount of time. That I thought would have stopped any hoarders, because as you know, finding battery now and plugs is a little bit harder than it once was. So I thought, well, yeah, that should be right, but proof's in the pudding, isn't it? I mean, I was wrong, because those hoarders, I mean, at the end of the day, all you need to do is to have 3 or 4 players on, and one set of batteries, one battery and one set of plugs, because those are the, whilst one is driving that vehicle home, another one could be just sat in the vehicle waiting for that person to come back with that battery and plug. So I shan't be doing that again. But I mean, there's later on, hopefully the developers are going to come across with or come up with an idea that stops people from being able to do it. Maybe it was like the comment that was left on my YouTube channel earlier on. Maybe limit a base to how many vehicles you can have in it, at one time. But I'm not sure whether that would work, but you never know. The developers, they could come up with something with a similar sort of idea, and it might work. We shall see. Or perhaps have the decay, if a vehicle doesn't get used for a certain amount of time, let's say 2, maybe 3 days, real time days, I mean, hour time, not game days. Then the vehicle just explodes or despawns and respawns somewhere else. You know what I mean? They'll come up with something, bound sure to. It's going to take time. At the end of the day, it's still an early access game. early days. So anyway, ladies and gents, I'm going to have to love you and leave you there, because the servers will be coming down shortly for that maintenance job that they're going to be doing. So anyway, as per usual, if you like what you've seen today, could you please leave any comment that you'd like? Leave a like, subscribe, and please keep sharing my videos, would be much appreciated. So until the next episode, until then, bye bye for now. Bye bye.